what is it that's authentic to you that's able to show up in real estate?
My time, it's your adventure. I'm just being blessed with the trust from you to help you get through these process, talk through the property, do the market analysis, find the property that makes the most sense for you without ever pushing on your back.
Was there a time where you had a W-2 job, or did you wake up being an entrepreneur in real estate?
Yeah, so I used to work as a recreational director at in this area. I helped three universities. I helped Messiah College, Messiah University, York College of Pennsylvania, and I finished my full-time career in that field at Penn State Harrisburg.
So, recreational director, what was that? Is that like organizing parties? What was that?
Yeah, that's a fancy title to say that I tried to make the student experience the best way, either in the gym with weight room scheduling, or I helped influence the intramural departments. Anything from sport creation, referee or supervisor hirings, to the tournaments themselves, making full seasons out for a whole year so that the college kids had a good experience. And that was personally their own enjoyment. And then also the individuals that worked for me, I tried to build up their resume and their understanding of their own values so that they could take that job and use it for whatever career they were going to pursue after college.
Hmm. Uh, as a coach, it sounds like a lot of fun in that aspect of it. So, but what was the onus that led you? Did you go from that into real estate? But what was the onus to have you leave that career?
Yeah, yeah. So I understood the importance of time commitment in that position and the clash and the reality that I was going into was I was going to have twins. And
Mm.
I was blessed with the opportunity during COVID to be working where I got to spend the first 9 to 10 months with my first child, my daughter, my oldest, Charlotte. Was grateful for the experience because I was staying at home. Universities were practically shut down. Um, and when I found out that I was having twins, I was like double the schedule of kids, along with a third still, she's still there. Um, I started to recognize that I was probably not going to be able to give my utmost respect to that. And also my values started to shift where I thought that I could do more and be more. And that started about a 9 month approach where I interviewed multiple careers, and real estate felt like the most authentic opportunity with a sales position attached to it. But the realm of some of the people that I interviewed, they tied into my care for relationships.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Nope. So, so you went through that search process, you settled in on real estate, you used the term authentic there. So, what is it that's authentic to you that's able to show up in real estate?
Yeah. So, it's kind of a line that I use with all of my clients. You're coming to me to help you through a process, both selling and buying, that is one of the biggest processes and opportunities in a life that we can live is homeownership. Um, in that realm, it's not my time, it's your adventure. And I'm just being blessed with the trust from you to help you get through these process, talk through the property, do the market analysis, get the house sold for what it's worth, find the property that makes the most sense for you without ever pushing on your back to write on any house It's got to be the right house. That feeling sat with me because I got to see what each of these individuals truly wanted. And I say individuals, it could be a couple, it could be a family, right? And even in the sale of the house, see what their intentions were for in terms of like selling for the most, but what the next chapter was, and that just like made me feel like I was helping them, write, like I was giving them the pen to write the next chapter. So
Mm,
yeah.
mm. That's interesting. When I've asked that question before, I've heard a number of different answers, and it was about being able to live a certain lifestyle and earn enough money to support that. It was about competition coach. I've always wanted to be the best, and real estate's a great spot to be the best. Not once did you mention the impact to you as a person, but you're talking about an alignment of how you value the non-pressure sale for such an important decision in life. Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
About
Yeah. I can say that this position has allowed for a lot of opportunity for myself, for my wife, for my family, um, without a doubt, right? Again, a driving force was so that I could have a healthier schedule so that I could be the dad to my kids and the husband to my wife. But in that realm, that's provided due to the opportunities that I've been given. I, with cement below my feet, say that every client, the process is however quick it is for them.
Mm.
Obviously, in the sale, it's to try to get the most for them, to help them go wherever they're going to next, to be sensitive to their schedule. But with my buyers, I have a buyer that's been with me since the start of my career, and the same time and attention is given to them when they want to see a house, and we will find the house that matters for them. But at the same time, they trust in me to give them my professional knowledge and guidance, and that can't waver on day one or what day, what is it now? Gosh, 1600. So,
Gotcha.
yeah.
So you've been licensed how long now?
So I've been licensed for 5 years, January to January terms. I technically started in June, so this is like going in through my 6th year, if that makes sense. But in terms of like a tax year, five full years.
Gotcha. All right, IRS, in case you're listening, get that straight. So the hardest point, the last 5 years, what was the hardest part for you to go through? Was there a cash flow issue? Was there a moral ethics or an exceptionally hard, challenging client? Past 5 years, hardest, most challenging part in your business.
Yeah. So, hardest point for me was to hear from a client that when presented the opportunity to work with them again, they felt that in their mind there were no value to realtors. So, yeah. Yep. Um, they agreed that the situation that I assisted them with, they appreciated the time and the value that I gave them there. But what they were going to next, which was a very unique situation, um, they were pretty blunt, and I cannot commend them enough to be honest with me, because in the turnaround, they gave me a value marker on what they thought I was worth, and I was able to sit down and truly dig down into what I felt that I was worth as a real estate agent to them, to everybody. And I actually turned them down because they still wanted me to assist them. They just were asking me to give them my time at a heavily discounted price.
Hmm.
And I told them on a personal level, it was water under the bridge. But on a professional level, that I was not willing to give my time for the value point that they felt that I was worth. And um, I wouldn't say they got offended, but I think they were a little surprised that I would turn away whatever the dollar amount was. But to me, where I'm at in my career, um, I'm happy to help and give you my opinion on things. But if you're asking me to put my time and attention into it, I carry my own dollar worth and I carry it proudly.
That's a shot. That's a shot, but it felt good. It sounds like it felt good for you to make that decision.
I got to sit down and truly actually say like what am I providing and what is that worth? Because time is money. We all work towards, the things in life that we get to do because we have less of a burden financially in whatever degree. That can be what $100 does for you. That can be what $100,000 does for you. That value is not up to me to judge for you because I see individuals that do jobs that they love what they do. But in this matter and what I'm doing currently, I am very happy with the career choice that I made to come into real estate. And I'd like to say 5 years in that this is my career now and not just a job.
Love it. Love it. Now, how do you wake up today, like, and you're talking, trying to give advice to other entrepreneurs or maybe new people to real estate, etc. What, how are you telling them to prioritize their day? How do you go about it, and what advice would you pass on?
Sure. So I think religion is the most important thing in terms of my life.
Okay.
So I like to wake up. I have a daily virtue book, like where it has a passage. It has acknowledgement of that passage, and I like to spend some time there in bed reading that. I like to start the day and end the day with a prayer there. But for me, right now, my value marker is my family. So I like to give as much attention and time to getting my kids ready for school, helping out with the day in terms of that. Until I know that that's taken care of, I do not take phone calls. My business is not started in that realm. Um, there are so many times where we are on the phone. We are coming late home from showings, added showings, where our families have to adjust to that. Where there are moments in time when you're home and it is truly not a immediate emergency or need, that tomorrow suffices. And even then, later on in the morning, will allow for you to do exactly what you need to do. Um, that's my first piece of advice to anybody that's trying to go into this type of world. And that world is entrepreneurial, right? You know your value markers, you know what you care about. Keep those on the pedestal that they deserve to be. Because when you start to blend it, and it's not that you can't have success and have a good family and carry a good life forward leading. It's when something that should be a truly foundational pillar in your life becomes less meaning, that roof starts to teeter and you're no longer having that roof over your head, and that can pull people down, and it can be monumental shifts in their life. um, I've
Mm.
adjusted through that. I've had moments where I've had busy weeks, busy months. I'm grateful for that. But then I would talk with my wife and I would say, you know what, I'm getting out from underneath the water here. Like, can you talk to me about, where was I and what can I do better? And really, she would always say, when you're home, like, be home. If you need time to do your work and you need that and it's sensitive, just state that and we will adjust around it. But she's like, she's right. There are so many minutes in the day that we can get our job done, that we can then clock out and go and appreciate the kids running around the house, creating the mess. And just in those little moments and, having dinner with them and talking to them about their day and just caring about the other individual in your life, your spouse, whoever may be, to whatever level of relationship. And I think that's deeper to me than any transactional value that I've done.
Mm. Boy, that's you can say that louder for the people in the back. The that spot. You know what? I'm going to share a little bit of my own story too, because it's along this line. And if I learned it sooner, it sounds counterintuitive, but I probably would have gotten further faster. And what I mean by that is when I first started off, and this was prior to texting. Okay, so when I
Yeah.
first started, prior to texting, we had cells, but prior to texting, and so when that phone rang, you answered it. So there's no way of screening it, right? There's no way of screening. Do I want to take that?
Right.
And when you're early on, when that phone rang and somebody said, "I got you, need you to drop everything and show a house now," I ran around like crazy. And here I am, I'm probably into it close to a year and a half before I got to a point, and literally it was this: I sat down, I put the food on my fork, had the fork in the air, phone rang right at that moment. I
Yeah.
paused the fork, answered the phone, and sure enough, it was somebody wanting to see a house ASAP. And I remember taking the big breath because I looked at my wife, who was already frustrated as it is. This has
Yeah.
become right.
Right.
And I told the client, I said, you know something, unfortunately, I can't handle that right now. I'll be able to do that maybe tomorrow at 2. But if you need somebody right now, I'll be happy to get you someone. And
Yeah.
the client, you know what the client said on the other side? No, coach, we'll wait for you. We want you.
That's,
That was such an empowering feeling because up until that point, my responsiveness was based off fear.
yeah. Right.
Production wise, and I arrived, even if I lost that sale at that moment, I made the right. Now, if I made that right decision sooner, and hats off to you, sounds like you did. If I stayed grounded sooner, more committed to that, what would happen is maybe I lose a client or two because of that early on, but it
Hmm.
also forced me down to find the clients whose value systems are far more aligned to my own, who's going to respect that time. And I would have enjoyed it more, got more of the referrals from that setup. It's counterintuitive.
Amen. Yeah.
Probably 30% of the people I worked with, I probably shouldn't have worked with. But I did it out of necessity. And
Right.
and where you're coming from, boy, that's a great lesson point. It hit home for me. All right.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. But like you could probably speak to the health that you've gained from that. And that's mental, physical, spiritual health.
Mm, mm, mm,
Like if the check is truly your driving factor, that's fine.
mm,
That's your prerogative. And I will never judge you against that because I am not you and you are not me. But there are so many individuals that I've seen in an entrepreneurial spirit, and they are able to put as much time as they can into it and then stop and smell the roses.
mm,
And I think those individuals, um, you can see it in their moments, and if they don't speak about that value, it's more of a privacy factor for them, and that's fine. Not everybody has to talk their story, but I think everybody can say that success is not a measure of a dollar. It's really what you see in your life and how you're doing with it.
mm, mm. Spot on. All right. So where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm in a big measurable year this year. I am privately working with a couple individuals in my brokerage,
Mhm.
trying to test out the feelings of like, does a team creation kind of come
Yeah.
into play? Um, but in 5 years from now, I see myself a COBOL banker.
Hmm.
Um, I probably see myself helping a couple other individuals in a team aspect. And I I'd say maybe like on a Disney cruise with the kids.
Good that your priorities are straight. Fantastic. Um, if there was no longer real estate, somebody says, "Hey, real estate's no longer a profession," because many
Yeah.
people be trying that. Um, somebody did that. What business or career do you see yourself that you would be in? Where would your skill set and your stuff align well?
Yeah, that's a great question. So two avenues that I would enjoy, I think. Um, Wealth management, wealth consulting.
Okay.
I value, who I work with right now in that aspect of business. They're busy, they're dealing with a lot, but when I sit down and I talk to them, man, do they care about our kids, our family, our life, what we're doing, how we're spending it, all of those things. They just constantly hit these mark points that I leave the meeting like grateful that I got to spend that time with them. And and that connection continues, I think that they then continue being successful with my money, right?
Gotcha.
Um, and then another avenue might be medical sales. So that approach is more towards what today's world of medical provision devices, things like that, what that does for individuals, right? I mean, the medical world is constantly advancing. And I think to provide a tool or a piece of equipment to a needed individual, uh, that carries just a value point that you're helping them in whatever aspect to be healthier, get healthier, or just continue on with a lively, life that they're currently living.
That's fantastic. All right, I almost forgot. I want to go down the partner alignment too. We talked earlier at the beginning of this about, you felt aligned with certain partners. What does that mean to you when a partner is aligned with you and you're very comfortable and in sync, referring them and back and forth? What does that actually look like to you?
Yeah. So speaking in specifics, been working with Nextdoor Photos and also Neary Creative, um, and I believe the value point in the partnership is the carrying on of reputation, and it's a mutual carry for us both. We are human, so as much as we like to be as perfect as we can be, we are just naturally flawed. That is our life, right? Um, in that realm, what I see from the partners that I've worked with is that they're willing to accommodate. Like if something were to occur where, hey, we took a bad photo or we did something here or there, the conversation is not of a parting of ways. It's how can we make this better, right? And it's making us both better, right? They're sticking to what they provide, the value that they give, and they're standing tall to it and attesting to it. And we, with our clients, are continuing on the reputation of respect that they have for us and delivering, what that is. You're not just real producers. You guys are not just taking anybody and everybody and just kind of funneling them in and just give them a call and then it's crickets on the other end. I truly see from a lot of the individuals that have spoken at the meetings that you guys have had, the events, and also in the magazines that they understand the importance of each relationship of these real estate agents that they work with, and then vice versa. They're there because an agent was like, hey, coach, you got to talk to these people because they are great at what they do. I use Mark Domingos with Movers for Me, and that man will give the shirt off your back. And I've asked him in situations that are very sensitive, and he has been so easy to work with. And we are constantly able to accommodate um, time and schedules and non-typical cases in terms of client needs. And Mark is he's willing to be as honest and upfront and give as much as he can. And I've respected it so much. So
Fantastic. Good deal. Hey,
yeah.
all right. I got what I wanted from this standpoint. Real question. Are you coached?
Am I coached, like aligned with anybody? No, I'm not. Nope. Nope. I value some of the tenured agents and the time that they've given me at lunch and on the phones, but no.
Just hearing what you're telling me and where you want to go, you might want to get a coach, at least
Yeah.
for a short period of time. Yeah, you met Sherry Johnson? No?
I've not met Sherry Johnson yet.
Sherry Johnson, she's a national coach. She's a partner with us, but she came down and did our whole event in York. We had a real big learning event.
I I had a showing that
Gosh,
yeah, yeah, I missed
so
that one. Yeah.
I would love to have you talk to her. I
Sure.
don't care who you use or what, but
Yeah.
at your stage, year five, when you tell me that you're thinking about a team, that aspect
Yeah.
of it, leverage the experience of a coach for that. And you might just get that off of a consult. You might not even have to pay for coaching if you just have just an initial consult for you. Is it okay if I connect you two?
Sure. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Hearing you saying that, I'm saying obviously you always have me for advice, but I might be too close to the world at this, so she might be perfect for that. All
I
right.
appreciate your time and your advice always. Like I
Hey,
said, every
no
time
problem.
we've talked, it's only added more to me. But I am very much at that point where I understand the importance of time and knowledge that some of these individuals that are, in a place past where I am, and that's out of respect of their reality. And if you don't tip your cap to those individuals and try to take what you can from it, I think you're just kind of under a rock in this world.
All right, buddy. Keep sending me vendors if you have any. Matter of fact, don't you use Dan Jameson?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yep.
He's like this close. So if you get a chance to talk to him again, bring it up if you're helping me out. And then CE, we have a partnership with the CE shop.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm going to
35%.
use that discount. Yep.
Yep. If you haven't used it already, use it. And if you know of others that you can use it, even pre-licensing, if you're adding people for that, they have that stuff on there too. All right.
Yeah. Yeah. I that expires here soon. I have that on my calendar.
The
So,
RP actually here's a Monday. There's a 40% off. We got five more. It's a 1 day. So
okay.
look for the flash. Our standard is 35, and then they occasionally give a push every now and then. So look
All
for
right.
that.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I gotta get those classes in. So,
Man, I appreciate it. Thanks for your time. When we chop this up, I'm going to send it to you. Make sure you're okay with all of them because I'm looking for quick little short ones.
sure.
And we'll get it out. All right.
Thank you,
Take care,
Coach.
brother.
Appreciate you, ma'am. Thank you. Bye.